Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. Apologies for the late start. It was, my screen's decided to shift at the last minute. Welcome to our market scan. Good afternoon, Winston, or g'day, Winston, as I always say. Kuba, Jeffrey, Phil, Matt, and Tate. Good day to you all. This is brought to you by TRADERCOBB.com, the business that has part of my name in it. And I hope you're well. We got free stuff there too. You know, TraderCoBB.com. Go and check it out for free for Become a Trader. And there will be some updates coming and some changes coming. We are working on it collectively within the team. G'day, Mitchell and Michelle as well. G'day to you all. Let's have a look at what we got because it's been a pretty good little period in the market and some good trades have been taking place. It's been a cracker time. Okay. Free t-shirts. That's not a bad idea, is it? Bit of free marketing. I might get Cam a hat, I think. Cam, if you're listening, let's get you a hat so that next time you're on the TV, you can wear it. Okay, so Bitcoin, let's go straight to the monthly and work our way forward. Of course, the monthly last month was a good one. 18% up. We've broken the high and we've got ourselves 11.11. There you go to my guardian angels, 1111. They're on the percentage. Thank you for that. Trading gods. Okay. Now, when we look at this, here's the thing, right? It's a monthly. It's a pullback into the cradle zone. It's a bullish candle. It's in an uptrend and it's broken higher. So would I treat the monthly any different to that of any other time frame? No. I mean, I'm not going to have a trade position open on this because it's a long-term move, but from a market dynamic or market specific point of view, it's very, very good. And look, if I was, and I probably should have done this, but you know, if I was managing a big fund, for example, and it was me managing that fund, I would be entering on this, and I would be looking to have a stop down here, a point at which to get out. I wouldn't be using margin or anything like that, but yeah, because it's just the carryover cost, but. A good long-term indicator. You can see here on the BitMEX chart as well, you know, just to show you there is a little pullback here. So that monthly is in an uptrend and it's looking very, very good. So yes, monthly looks great. The weekly has a higher low and now a higher high. We're approaching our fourth week of gains. Of course, we're only into, what's today? Tuesday. So still plenty of time to go, but it's a good start to the week, right? I mean, what are we up? We're up 5% already. And the most impressive of all, in my eyes, is the daily. You know, we talked about this pullback last week, and now I was sort of saying, you know, 36, 37 could be good. Well, we were not too far off of 37 when we created that higher low and then on to a higher high. It's all looking marvelous, looking very, very good indeed. So I'm very happy. So now that we know that we've got Bitcoin in an uptrend on the daily and the uptrend on the weekly and an uptrend on the monthly, and a bullish monthly as well, it opens up the door. That door is now open for us to find many trades, and we have been. So let's go ahead and have a look over here at the list that we've got. Oh, excuse me. And just see what we've got today. Geez. All right. So realistically right now, Bitcoin for me is not, I'm not looking for any trades. As you can see from the high to this high and the last high to the current high, we're actually divergent there. If I go lower, it still doesn't look very good. As a matter of fact, the only time frame that could present opportunity today is the lowers, like you know your 15, your 30, and I'm hopeful that we do see the market kick. If we see it kick, we might get some cyclicity there for some lower time frame trading opportunities, be it the breakout, the booster, or the Fibonacci cluster. I only use 3 strategies. Yeah, I've got a few more, but these are the ones that I sort of, well, these are the ones I use 99.9% of the time. So I don't see the point in putting the others out there. But yeah, so 3 strategies with checklists. I'm waiting for that cyclicity, the momentum to return to Bitcoin. So for Bitcoin right now, it's not really anything that I'm looking at from an interested trading point of view until we get that, or if we get that further kick on. And across much of the market, we've seen something very, very similar. Yesterday, of course, there was some 8-hour cradles that set up, and there was a very nice one there on Ethereum as well that I did manage to get a hold of. Ooh. Go a little bit lower. Ooh. I think I'll go back to the 15 there. That could build to be a breakout, you know. That really could. I'm going to pop that in. We're going to go with blue. I would like to see it do more. Of course, if you know the rules for the breakout, you know the rules for the breakout. But right now, it'll go in the list for that reason. A lot of these daily candles, you can see here again, you know, look, it's in an uptrend. It's pulled back, moved higher, pulled back. It's a bullish candle in the cradle zone. It's just pretty big. It's just, yeah, that's the only criticism that I have. The 2-day, there is a higher low and a higher high. It's been very messy. That doesn't really matter for where we are now because there is a weekly uptrend. There is a 2-day uptrend. Of course, you can see that here. And that daily's, you know, trending. My only concern is the size of the candle. Now, with that being said, I have an order in the market which looks like it might just about get to be filled in a moment. And that's for another product, but it's spot. Okay, I'm just doing that as a spot position for a longer term move there, and that's it. So you could do the same here, I suppose, whether it be USDT or whatever USD. It's not one for me right now. Not right now. Cardano, the level that it pulled back to was exactly the level that I was hopeful for it to pull back to, but here's what happened. Bing. Now, there was a cradle right there. It was just, again, a little bit big. So not one that I raised an order on. It would have got you 1-to-1 pretty quickly. 1 inch just popped at it. Okay. All right. Well, then it's not, well, geez, it's not going to be one for me then, is it? The power of the Bitcoin breakout strategy in full swing. Okay, so we'll keep going. Jumping back to Alchemix now. No, there's nothing really there. It's we're looking for good trends and good cyclicity, and I'm thinking that it might be the lower time frames that deliver that if there's a few that have kicked on. Alpha, the trend's there. The 8 hour is the only option that one may have had. Not the smallest of candle, but again, it might have just crept in 1-to-1. I didn't take that yesterday. I will have a look lower just quickly. The level's not quite good enough for me. ALTPERP. Oh, okay. Pointed out by good friend and someone that I work closely with, Dino. This morning, there is resistance building and there is a higher low here, but it's got to do more. Hold the phone. Am I being filled? I should be getting filled. Am I getting filled? Sorry. Okay, sorry, it's just taking its time. I didn't think I had that big an order in. Anyway, altcoin perp, yes, resistance up here. It's got to push on through. I'll put that in because, look, whether you know the breakout or not, with this higher low, if we are to push up through that, it's also around that $4,000 mark, a round number, which could provide opportunities for pullback. So based on that, based on the trend and based on it popping through, we could get a little boost, a little cradle or booster up around that level. Ample fourth, there's nothing there. We've again, we're not looking at a very nice trend there. It's a bit, hey, how you doing? On to Cosmos. The daily looks pretty good, but again, a big candle, audio. It's very thinly traded, so not one that I'm all that interested in. AVAX, oh. Look at that. Yeah, that's a pretty nice looking candle. That was at 6 o'clock last night. Same time that I raised the order for ETH, and I'll show that to you when we get there. But this is the sort of thing I'm looking for, guys. You know, pullback, bullish candle in the cradle, boom, up she goes. Just quick profit. As of now, however, still midway through the move. Again, I want to see follow through of that momentum. Where have you guys gone? There we go. Okay. Axie, nothing there either. Badger, it's obviously had an amazing run of late, but it's not really got too much for me to work with there. Another one here that sort of was like, you know, close, was balanced. So the bullish candle, look, it's a bit big for one. And two, realistically, you look at this, there's no real clean pullback. So there's not really a trend there. And the 2-day, we haven't broken up. Well, we have, but I mean, it just didn't quite fit the bill. You know, it just didn't quite give me what I was after. And I've left it for that reason. And of course, the job of a trader is to make sure that they know when to be involved and when to stay out. And right now, I'm sure that there will be a little bit of FOMO creeping in. Well, don't let it, because, you know, there's a number of candles out here that look like this, that are big, but they don't fit the strategy. Now, you've got your checklists available. Use them. And don't get that whole, oh, I've got to get into something because the market's moving. It's not going to help you. It's just going to hinder you, so don't do it. Keep your cool. Band protocol, another one. There is a higher low here. There is a higher high. There is a pullback. There is a pullback to a region, about $7, roughly around that region. It's a bullish candle. It's a fairly large candle. The 2-day is what kills this, though. Again, I suppose there's a little pullback there. Geez, there are a lot like this where you're just like, it looks so, you know, that you could, you know, Look, I haven't raised an order on that. I'm not going to now. Okay, not to say that you shouldn't. I'm just suggesting that, you know, I've got an order already in the market. I'm not looking at that any further. I'm long ETH. I'm long flow, which hasn't done anything. Nothing there on the flat level for band either, although it does look like it wants to move. Gonna leave it. Ooh, Bayo had a big day, but nothing to play with there. Basic attention token, another one on the daily pullback, has broken the high. Follow through of momentum would certainly be applauded by me, because, again, we've got a higher low. If we can get that cyclicity, push it on further, that next pullback can represent opportunity for a cradle or a booster, depending on what you're looking for and depending on how the market actually sets up. So I'll kick that into the mix because we do have that lower time frame trend starting to move. Bitcoin Cash was a bit of a bugger yesterday. Was it yesterday or the day before? Pullback move. I was sort of hopeful to get something in here. It just pulled back too deep. Yeah, it bounced. Yeah, there was a bullish candle, but it wasn't enough for me. So again, it's about being selective with what you're going to be trading. And right now, with that divergence on Bitcoin Cash, I'll be leaving it. Binance with resistance up ahead. Another one here with a bullish candle. Once again, that bullish candle is quite large. A little pullback here. 2-day does have a bit of a trend, but again, it's not as clear as I'd like it to be. The only option here is if it pushes above this $360 mark, pullbacks into there if I don't get a breakout at that level. For the time being, it won't make the watch list because I don't want it to be clustered full of stuff that's not exactly ready to go. I'm going to mark that as a reference point in here. And how have you guys been going? I mean, you guys are the reason I do this. I mean, yeah, you know, I run a business. I want to make money with a business. I'm not going to lie about that. But yeah, I mean, how are you guys finding it? Are you guys guys and girls, are you finding opportunity? Have you been able to get a hold of some of these moves over the last couple of days or weeks, really? Because I know that I haven't been as active until sort of last week. I'm starting to see things really clearly again. I feel like I've got that mojo back, and it feels good. Yeah, it feels good to be back. So a lot more people were taking trades than I was. Chillers, a really good leg up again today on Chillers. Let's have a look at that a little bit deeper. Yeah, there wasn't anything to play with in there, and there still isn't. So I'll be leaving. Oh, hang on, maybe I'll go lower. Yeah, not entirely convinced. Long ETH 2, Jack. Nice, mate. Yeah, I'm not overly impressed by that. Good on you, Drishan. I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name. I'm not very good at that sort of stuff. A lot of things I'm not good at. Compound. I was looking at that this morning, but it didn't end up closing all that well. And to be honest with you, it's not really all that interesting for me at the moment. Taking a few, going well the last couple of weeks after not taking anything for a couple of months. Good on you, Matty. well done, mate. You've been around a long time, so well done on taking a break and coming back with a bang. Well done. Short squeezes. I don't follow the squeeze thing. I don't really know what a squeeze is. It's not part of my vocabulary there, so it's not really something that I can comment on, really. Crypto.com? Nope. CRV. Higher low, higher high, pullback, big candle. Again, a big candle ruins it. Nothing really to work with at the moment there either. And we're seeing that it's quite consistent across the board at the moment as far as the, we really need the market to move again. We need the market to push for another leg higher. And this morning when I did my scan with my live trading floor members, those that are in the community, was really just sort of saying, look, it looks like it might be similar to yesterday. And yesterday was a day where there was quite a bit in the watch list, but there was nothing truly tradable until later on in the afternoon or even early evening. And it appears that we may be faced with something quite similar again. What pullback do you think Bitcoin is heading towards? Oh, nothing at this stage. I don't see, I'll have a look again at the end, but at the moment it's having a good run higher, so it'll do its thing while it's doing its thing. I don't see enough to suggest. I mean, look, it's had a good run. What am I? DeFi. It's had a good run. Back in a 42, I mean, the easiest thing to do, really, from my standpoint, and it's not started yet, but, well, there's not enough data there for me, is to use the 50. So, yeah, around 42 or something along those lines. But for me, it's not a focal point at this stage. DeFi, there. Hi, Cobb. If we see the pattern of last two bull runs, after Bitcoin touches all-time high, the market corrects, and then there is a bounce, ultimately fall to bear market. Thoughts? No thought. I don't know if I agree with that, actually. Where are we getting that from? I'm going to use this chart here because it's got more data. And just see, because, there's our all-time high, pulled back. Then there's another all-time high set here. It didn't pull back. It just kept going. It did pull back here. Then it went again to a new high. So it's not really... reliable theory, maybe. It was two bull runs. It depends on what time frame as well, because it ran up to all-time highs and it pulled back and never got back there. So I'm a little bit confused. Pattern of the last two, Bitcoin touches all-time high, the market corrects. Okay, for me, I'm just reading what's there. Yeah, I'm not. I just don't see that theory playing out, to be honest. I just don't see that scenario being even factual, and that's not to be offensive or defensive in saying I'm right, they're wrong. Not at all. Not at all. Everyone's got their thing. Gareth's got his thing. Who I'm not quite sure who that is, but that's okay. But I just, what's said there, last two bull runs after Bitcoin touches all-time high, the market corrects, and then there's a bounce. It doesn't show that way on the charts. It's not the way I'm reading the charts anyway, not the way I'm seeing the charts, which is just based on price action. So, Chris, well done, up 9% the past 2 weeks on 2.5% risk. Ooh, ballsy on the risk side of things, but good work. DeFi. So again, we'll get back into the market. Here we have a bullish candle in the cradle zone. You can see that there. It's another big candle. There's good momentum there, however. There's nothing for me to work with. He's calling Bitcoin to 50, 55, and then it will go down to 18 to 22. Okay. Well, the only thing that we've got is to see time. How will time play out? My theories are just trade what you see, not what you think. Where will it go to? I don't know. I'll just trade it as it goes. Where can it fall to? I don't know. I'll just trade it as it comes. Try and keep it as non-complicated as I can, and I very rarely make calls on moves because it's just, everyone wants to have fame and fortune. And again, I'm not talking against your man Gareth. People want to be right. I don't care to be right. I just want to make money and do it right, which is not at the sort of other one's expense, at other people's expense. Dodo, bullish candle, broken the high, but there's nothing really to work with there. There was a nice trade back here that many did get. That was on the 8 hour. Oh, maybe was it the 8 or the 4? No, it must have been the 4. I remember having it in the watches. No, Dodo. Anyway, it pulled back, it moved nicely. Doesn't really matter because it's gone now. Okay. Across 4 trades, Ray, it said went all right with 1% risk, went to 2% and flopped. Yeah, it's a big psychological difference. It is a big number difference as well. Okay, so the trade that I put on last week, I am now out of this position. I got out up here. Cradle back here. Again, that was a nice little profit. Pretty happy with that. I think about a 3-to-1 all out. That's if you didn't scale that. If you did scale that, you'd be sitting at 2% profit. Very simple cradle, very great move. Happy, happy days. As of right now, again, what we're seeing across much of the market is this helter-skelter. It's that cyclicity that we did have has sort of drained out a little bit. The daily still looks really good down here on DOT, but it's got to, we need that next drive. We need that next drive for the market to really give us heaps of opportunity. Dragon last night, 6 p.m. There was a bullish candle right there that fit the cradle rules. It broke to the high. It moved up. I think you would have, if not 1-to-1 yet, very, very close. As of right now, no interest from this young fellow. Well, don't know if I can say I'm young anymore. Please, I want to ask an important question. Please, of course you can, Dennis. Elrond is running very well. I mean, check out this daily. What a ripper of a run. I mean, that's got the weekly just kicking butt right now. Higher low, higher high. Huge week last week. The daily hasn't really slowed down at this point, which means trends are good. Higher low, high, messy through here, but a pullback there on the 4 would certainly be good. Let me just zoom out and see what that level is, if it's anything worth considering. Oh, yeah. Still, I got to wait for it to come back in. A little cradle in there could be, or would be something that I would certainly be very interested to know of if it were to occur. Engine still a little bit messy. EOS was in a great trend up here, but it just kept on going back. It got too deep. That candle was a bit big for me as it stands right now. The only potential, yeah, it's not really very good for a break either. The level's not really that defined. Yep. Ethereum Classic, again, needs to leg up, needs to get that as a higher low to push to higher high. Then we've got some momentum. Then we've got something to talk about. Ethereum has been on a ripper of a run as well. I am currently long Ethereum, and it was based on this candle right here. So back to the old level. Here you go, old resistance. Acting as support, pulled back. I think it was on the 61.82, was it? Yeah, there you go. So a couple of bonus factors in there. I've got my first target. My stop is now up here. I just sit back and wait, really, because there's not much to do at this stage. What we do need to see for Ethereum to carry through is we need to push to new highs in this trend, get that cyclicity back, as I spoke of earlier, and at that point we can look to do the dance once more. EXCHPERP had a lovely pullback as well. Bullish candle right there in the cradle. Now I'd be surprised if nobody took that. It's not the smallest of candles. That's the only reason I would say that people might not have taken that. But it is there, and it has moved. And again, we're still stuck up here. How about lower? Let's go lower again. Oh, you know what? Look, it's got a lot to do for it to be tradable. There are it needs to come up, test again. It's got a lot to do to fit the breakout strategy rules. If it does push above, I mean, look, I'm going to pop it in and see how we go at the end of this scan. I may take it out. It's just got work. It's got to put in work. Bond feeder, it's broken up, but there's not much to play with there. Again, it's quite thin on the book, as you can see here with these little dots and specks. It's not one that I'm overly interested in trading just because of that. FILEPERP onto the 8 hour here. We can see it pulled back in beautifully well. The trend is still very much in play. There's just not much that I can really play with at this stage. We'll go lower. Ooh. I might have to eat my words here. What do we got here? It's not a real precise level, is it? Let's look at the 30. Let me just go back to that 4. Sorry. So I'm just going to review. We've pulled back, higher low, higher high here. Go to that 2 hour. We can see the trends there. We can see it's consolidated and broken, although not a perfect level to break through. There is a consolidation. There is the higher low and higher high. We can see that through here. I think the 30 minutes the one that I like the most. So I'm going to go from here. I'm just going to see if there's anything that comes together in here. But look, there's nothing of a trade right now, but if it did, like, it's got to slow up, you know, a few candles, creep down, then a bullish candle somewhere around $68. That would be what I'd be looking for. Question, I have some coin on my USDT. I have some coin on my USDT when Bitcoin is bad. I want to convert it to Bitcoin back because market is getting better. So please, should I transfer all coin to Bitcoin now or still keep some in USDT? That is a question that I cannot answer. I am not a financial advisor. I do not give financial advice. I'm here to educate you. Hopefully the education that you see, the way that I do things, and there's a free course there. Don't forget that whole free course to teach you market dynamics. I'm not one of these people that say, buy now, sell then. No, I empower you to make your own decisions. So sorry, Dennis, I can't help you with that, mate. That's a very personal decision for you to make. I got a Niels. Flamingo. Again, that daily's not going to match up with the 2-day in the trend, so it's nothing for me. Very sideways here on flow, and this is the bugger, right? I entered on this cradle here, and it's just been sideways. A real disappointment. But hey, what a messy chart on the 4 hour. I'm going to get rid of that level because it's really irrelevant. Moving along. Okay, Phantom. Nothing there either. This is a lovely trend on FTT. It's been a great move. It's also convergent on that 4 hour. So I'll pull back into that cradle zone. Could represent an opportunity worthy. Again, an 8 hour cradle right there. Let's go lower. The 2 hours not going to cut it. And nothing below unless it gets that cyclicity back. That's a fact. I will pop it in though, just in case we get it back to say 45 or something like that. Might be where a cradle could set up and look good. GRT is no good. Hedera is no good. Helium. Pull back, up, deep. That 2 hours is going to show up more. Look how messy it is. It's all over the shop. Maybe the 8 can thin it out or smooth it out. It's just not quite got that structure that I'm after with that really nice working out of that zone. It's just not quite there for me. Holy Trinity. High yellow pushing on. Look at the 8 back here as well. Pulled back. Good move. Good trend. Good work. Let's go 30. Again, it's just a bit thin, isn't it? I can tell it's thin because there's all these little... When it looks like an R2-D2 fart, that's when I don't like it. It's just not got enough there for me to play in. So it increases the risk, so I scram, Sam. Hollow, no. Oh. Yes, this was a little level I was watching this morning. It just didn't really set up all that well, to be fair. Just busted straight on through. But now that it has... now that it has... No, it's not going to make the list because it's got to slow down a bit. It's got to give me more than what it's currently giving me. Humanscape. Sounds mildly threatening. Too thin, as you can see by that chart, so I'll go straight past the scape of humans. IOTA continues to be sideways, right? Look at this. What a boring old chart that is. Gots to get above here. 95 cents. Get above that mark, and then we've got something to work with. Right now, however, no thank you. Carver, same thing. Very sideways. Kin. It's off to the racetrack, but look at these funny looking spikes. I'll tell you right now, that is going to be very thin. Too thin, I leave the kin. OMI, I'm not sure what that is, but I can, what's it cross? What do you want it paired with? Kusama needs to leg up. Leo is not really ever tradable, to be fair. The best I can do is a reference point on linear. Link, same thing. The best I can do is a reference point until we get up through there or build into that level better. There's not really much to speak of. Loopring's pulled back deep and moved high, but only just, and with big divergence, so that's a no for me. Litecoin had a ripper of a day yesterday. Just a shame the candle, this one didn't come in here with a bit of better cyclicity. Look at the 8. Not the clearest of trading opportunities either. Yes, there was a bullish candle. Yes, it was in the cradle, but no, there was nothing else really there. We'll go lower. Ugh. Yeah, it's not filling me with joy. Would I take that on the 4? Possibly. Yeah. It's convergent. And here. And 4. And daily's got some... yeah, look, I'll put that in. It's going to take some time. That's the point of having a watch list. You know, if that were to pull back into here, I would be keen to know. Simple as that. Luna. I don't think so. No. Nothing really that fits the bill. The 12, if you were going to take this, it would have been back in here. Good level on the second. Let's have a look at that on Litecoin. Are we talking daily? What are we... or are we zooming back out and we're looking at that bit there? Good level on the 2. Oh, 2-day. Let's have a look. Oh, through here, you'll see. Yeah, I can see what you're talking about. Kind of going back. It's a region, isn't it? Bit of a region. Yeah, I can see the region you're looking at, yeah. Well, it's just going to mean I just got to wait, really. Until that occurs, I'm just going to sit back. Maps, the problem I've got with maps is, again, it's too thin. It's not really tradable for me. Not the way I like to trade. Matic's been pretty slow of late. It's really seemed to forget its momentum pass. Mid-perp on the 8 again. That was another bullish candle. Would have got you 1-to-1 out of that. Looking for the same again, but right now with it being stuck in the middle, it's got to push to new highs in that trend. Same with Maker. Okay. Meta, too thin, nothing there. Metal. Nah, not interested. Looking for that cyclicity, that really nice cyclicity. Nia has got to push higher. We've got some resistance coming up on Nia. If we can break through that, then I'm sure we'll see plenty of options. OKB, it pulled back, it's moved already. It's again stuck in the middle, as is OMG. Sideways on Ontology. Orbs is sideways and thin. Oxygen, very thin, as you can see. Yes, it's had a pop, but no, it's not tradable for me at this stage. Gold, Peter Schiff, where's he gone? Sad, sad story. Perp, no. Oh, it's not on any major exchanges. I know, am I? Okay. Well, then I won't be able to look at it if it's not listed. There might not be enough data there. Not really all that interested in PRIV-PERP at this stage. It has stepped out, but it's done it with divergence, and there's not much for me to work with. Pundi, I can leave. Qtum, after that break, not much has happened. It's gone sideways. Holy moly. Well, too much happening there for me to be involved. I can leave that go and hopefully you hold it. Can you get confluence with the 0.5 and the 38.2 and be tradable? If it fits the rules. If it's a double fib in there. The only thing, just again with confluence, is that it is, if you're talking about confluence, the token, it's quite thinly traded. That's my only... sort of holdback. I was quite keen on this morning on Reef. I've never traded it before, but a pullback into here with that cyclicity was looking good, but it's kind of just wrecked itself. The 4 hour could still do it, but it's not going to make this list because, and it's going to, I'm not even going to take it out of that list because it's just got a lot of work to do. Ren, no. Rook, ooh. Thin. Too thin. Reserve rights, I can leave that. Big candle on the daily. That's why. Thorchain's not doing much. Sand is very sideways. Yeah, sorry. CR Mac. Yeah, just if it's not got the liquidity and it's not in a major exchange, it doesn't really give me much to look at generally. But I hope it goes well for you. Oh, Ray's being listed on Binance. Got it. And just remind me, if I haven't looked at the one you asked me to before, TVK to Symphony, just shoot it back up. Is it on Binance or is it anywhere to be seen? Because then it shouldn't be too hard for me to have a look. Sorry. Nothing on Filecoin, nothing on Seco. It's just too spiky. EXCPERP is much the same as its name at the moment. We'll just check lower and just see if there's any levels. Not particularly attractive. No, it looks like the market's coming off a little bit at the moment, perhaps. Scale, not much to play with there either, nor is Synthetics. Solana. I'd like to see Solana have a bit of a run because when it runs well, and it often gives us good trading options, right? It's pulled back. It's got to break further. It's got to give itself some run, and then we'll have something to work with. Okay, question. I'm new here. Please, my question is, if I have Bitcoin worth $10,000, please market hits 100%. What will be the amount of Bitcoin I have? Someone should help me with the calculations, please. Solana. Serum. Yeah. Serum. It's had a good move there. It's been a pretty spiky old one though, hasn't it? It's got to carry through that momentum realistically, guys. I'm not really interested in that at all. It looks fine. It's just got to get a little bit more. It's just got to carry through, you know. It's got to get a couple of, you know, one big candle doesn't give me cyclicity, doesn't give me much. It's got to slow down and then I can refresh and see what it looks like later. 2 hour Siren too thin. Storm. No. Storage. Messy as well. Stacks. Little bullish candle, but that's it. Very sideways. No interest. Sushi. So here's the one that I'm looking at because it's pulled back into this region of resistance. I know it's a big candle. I'm not looking at this with margin. It's just a potential opportunity for me spot. And look, when I go through this, yes, these are perp contracts, but you know, it's just because these are the liquid markets, and I like to use this particular range of contracts because it tends to have more liquidity available, and that's why they're able to offer margin options for it. But it doesn't mean that I'm, you know, suggesting that you trade margin all the time. I mean, there could be spot plays that you want to work with. I trade all sorts of different things, spot and margin. Don't trade margin if you don't know what you're doing. It's as simple as that. And if you don't know what you're doing, then you need to learn. And to do that, go to TRADERCOBB.com because there's a hell of a lot of lessons on it. Oh, by the way, if you're watching this, please like, share, and subscribe. Turn on your notifications. It would be helpful for me. Thank you. So yeah, I like the fact that it's pulled back. The bullish candle, it is big. Okay, it is a cradle. It is big. The 2-day does stack up. The moving averages are in the correct order. We do have an uptrend. It looks very, very nice indeed for a leg up. Whether it does it or not, well, that's another story. But there you go. That's my thesis. That's my stand. Swipe yesterday had a cracker of a move, and coming out of a pullback, bullish candle, breakup, you might have traded that. It was available. The 8 hour too, I think. No, incorrect. It was the 4. Now, it didn't stand out to me at 6 o'clock in the morning because I wasn't there at 6 o'clock in the morning. It had already moved. Oh, sorry, it already triggered. But a very, very good move and a very, very good trend match. 4 and 8, both good. Let's look at that level back there. Oh. Yeah, I can get rid of that. No relevance anymore. But look, I do like it on the 8. I do like it on the 4 for a pullback into that zone. So I'll chuck that in as well. Theta is messy, and even on the daily, it's a big candle with not too much trend. Tomo is also not very nice. True went bananas over here, but since then, slowed down, pulled back. Tron, you know, a bullish candle right there, but again, it's a straight line move. There's not much really to work with, unfortunately, for Tron at the moment. I will check the lower time frame, though, and see if there's a level. It ain't precise at this stage, but there's something about that. If it comes back up, retest, I'll have higher lows going with it, and then it could tighten up. And I will watch that. I will watch that. It's either going to set up relatively quickly or it's not. Got to have a laugh, Dean. It's, yeah, lock time times. It's got to have a giggle from now, every now and again. This was arguably, well, it's not arguably, it's trade of the week, well, for last week anyway, because I think it was Friday or something. I decided to take DOT and not Uniswap. So I didn't split the trade, but Uni was the one. Let me just show you, just so you can get an understanding for why trading, you don't need to get like a 10x in price. You just need to get a good move. Yep, that's entry and stop. So based on entry and stop being that, you would have 7.5 to 1. Now, let's say that you didn't scale out. That makes the math very easy at $7,500 if you're risking 1,000 to trade, or 750 if you're risking 100 to trade. If you were to scale out, you'd be looking at, I think, about, if it was 1,000 to trade, about 4,500, because you would have taken 1 to 1 and run it on. Now, your stop would be up here, so you'd have an enormous amount of profit locked in. And I know many of you do. Especially those in the community that saw the video, and because I do videos each day, myself or the team, get you content, watch lists, and various different things. So well done to those in there that are, well, even if you're not in there, well done. If I can see this kick on further, I'd be interested, but for the time being, it's just a matter of managing. 3,750 if you scale that. Yes, that was my quick maths, Ash. I employ a calculator for most of my stuff. I'm going to leave Uniswap. VeChain, not much to work with. Wave's got to kick further. Nem got to kick further. Stellar got to kick on too. Quick dip down. Problem I've got is that, yes, there's a consolidation. Yes, it certainly could pop, but there's resistance right up ahead. So it's a no for me. No, Dennis, your question is not irrelevant. It's just a matter of math. I mean, if you've got $10,000 worth of Bitcoin now, and if you're talking about 100% to all-time highs, if that's what you mean, I just don't know how to represent the question. Then it's just a matter of, looking at the percentage gain and then doing the math on it. Tezos. Again, it's pulled back on the daily, but there's not enough trend there. I'll come back and have a look in a sec, Dennis. Yeah, I'm not overly impressed by that. No, you're like, I'm not a math whiz. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not. If you want to code stuff or do quant stuff, then yeah, maths is pretty important. As you can see, this is all visual. It's all checklist based. I've tried to make it so that it's. My philosophy on this, on trading and pretty much everything, is the easier it is to get right, the harder it is to get wrong. And that's kind of the way that I trade. Well, it's not kind of the way, it is the way that I trade. Let's have a look up here. Because Zilliqa, look, there's a bullish candle right there. It's a big candle. And the 2-day, I don't think there was enough trend. Yeah, there's not really. And the moving average is only just crossing now. So it rules it out on the daily. Oh, it's not really. It's nothing special, is it really? Okay, ZRX, nothing much going on there. Back to Bitcoin. Okay, so let's go back for Dennis. Not just, sorry, I shouldn't say that. That sounds condescending. It's not meant to be at all. 1 month. So, $10,000 of Bitcoin at this current price to all-time highs, add 42% would be $14,330. So that's how much you would have roughly around about that sort of thing if you were to get all-time highs. There you go. That is the scam. So let's have a look at what's in the list. 1 inch, that's right. That's got to come out straight away, doesn't it? Because it popped up and it pulled straight back. I don't think anyone would have got filled on that. That's the thing with some of these. You've got the 3 tests, 1, B's Dick, 2, 3. It broke up. Your stop would have been there. You might have got 1-to-1, but the thing is getting filled. And I've seen this plenty of times. I actually saw it earlier in the week on something that moved very, very well. If they do an explosively quick move like that, look at this, 1 minute. See that? It happened in 1 minute. It happened so quickly. The likelihood of you getting filled it's not really there. So, anyone that looked at that and went, oh, I wish I had taken that, you probably wouldn't have got it anyway. So, just one of those things. It's coming out of the list straight up. We've got ALTPERP in here. If it was to build up into that level, again, a lot of work to do. It's at 4,000, a break up above 4,000, pulling back in. That could be good for a booster or a cradle. Basic attention token, starting to get some momentum here. It's got more to do. Am I going to look to buy a pullback in here? Probably not, but I'm open to it pulling back and then moving, and I could look at the next one. Oh, that's right. We're looking here on Elrond for a pullback on the 4 hour. A very, very good trend. EXCHPERP. We're looking at the resistance up here. Looks like it might have... Yeah, again, it's got a lot of work to do to build in, but we'll give it the chance. Again, watching for the longer term. Coming down now onto Filecoin. If it slows down, a little cradle at 68 or thereabouts could be good for later on. Need to wait. FTT, we jump back out to our 4 hour, and a pullback in around $45 would be very, very nice. Litecoin, very similar, but we're looking around 155, 156, something like that for a cradle in here. Synthetics, the same. Got to pull back. Give me a cradle somewhere in this $2.70 region. And Tron. Well, Tron. It's either going to set up and build into this level or it's not. So a break above, if you know the breakout, a breakout could be on. It's got a lot of work to do, or a pullback into that. Okay, question. Thoughts on Bitcoin movement as a relief rally, deadcat bounce? What price would give confidence the bull run is continuing as opposed to carrying on down? I've already seen what I want to see. Again, I'm not going to say it's not a deadcat bounce. I mean, I think it would be quite... I mean, this is a pretty lively looking cat to me. A deadcat bounce could have been something like this, but what changed that for me was when we set the higher low. So again, my standpoint on this is that the monthly is pulled back. It's taken its time. It's got it's stabilized. It's got a bullish candle, which took a lot of work, by the way. It broke the high of that, so the monthly is looking very good. The weekly now, it has a higher low and a higher high. Granted, it's not the nicest looking of uptrends I've ever seen, but it is there. And then you come to the daily, and we've got an uptrend. So we've got a monthly uptrend, a weekly uptrend, and a daily uptrend. For me, I'm not thinking about anything falling back. I am just trading. That's my job. I am here to trade. So trends are looking good. Would I be surprised if I saw Bitcoin pull back to 41? Absolutely not. Not at all. It's just had like a 30-odd% move. What is it, 34 or something? No, it's not. Sorry, 25. This move was 34. It's just had a 25% move. So if we're to pull back 50%, you are looking at something around that 41,000 mark, and that would be absolutely still fine. And in my opinion, as with the information that I've got on hand right now, I don't see that as being any reason for fear. And I think one of the big things, mate, and to all of you, is try not to, if you're always trying to predict the future, you forget about now. Now is what we've got, trying to think, where could Bitcoin go up? Where could Bitcoin go down? Once you start to forget about that and leave that alone, and you focus on what have I got now and what's the information that I have available to me with my level of experience, that's what you've got to work with. Because otherwise what you can do is there might be a great trade, but you've been clouded with the version of somebody else's theories that tells you that, oh, Bitcoin's going to fall to here, and you didn't take that Ethereum long, which would have banked you profit. Don't worry about what everyone else is doing. If you like what people have to say, and if you understand that you can make that work for yourself, invest in your education with that person or that group or whatever it may be, so that you can sharpen yourself to be decisive yourself. But as far as opinionated sides of things, I don't see anything that's concerning. I do see a strong market right now, and I am looking for uptrends. Okay. For example, if the price has just started to do a higher low, higher high, higher low, and the MACD have just started crossing, would that be enough to apply the trade? No. The MACD crossing, you can see it doesn't cross anything on mine because I've taken it all away. So no, if you want to learn about the strategies and you want to learn how I read the market, again, you know, I'll say it again, TraderCobb.com. That's my business, right? There is a free course there. That will teach you a huge amount of what I cover in this. It won't give you the full trading strategies because you need to pay for that. That's what I present to you, okay? All online, all there, get stuck into it. So yeah, 4 hour, FTT 4 hour. Oh, okay, that was the one you were talking about. Got it. I'll come back and answer that. Sorry, you did ask before. I see, you're connecting that and that. Yep, let's have a look. Keep in mind, my preference is not to trade boosters on the 4 hour. That's just my preference. I don't see it lining up. I don't know where you'd get that from. You said 4 hour, right? This is FTT. They're your points. So it doesn't match up there, Mitch. Stop it. TraderCobb.com. You all know. Like, share, subscribe. Do that first. I'm not sure what you're saying there, Mitch. Yeah, sorry, mate. I'm not sure I'm missing something. But, guys, I got to go and do some stuff. Around the 40. Oh, you're looking... 40. What time frame are you looking at? I don't see it, mate. I'm sorry. I just don't... not the way that I look at things. You're referring to the 4 hour, I think. FTT 4 hour pullback. Sorry, I'm trying, but it's really not becoming clear. If you're talking about the daily back into 40, sure. It's a long way off. At this stage, I don't see it as being not irrelevant, but it's a long way from, what do they say? Kansas. Anyway, guys, thanks, Dennis. I tried to help. I hope that was beneficial to all of you. As you know, visit TraderCobb.com. And that's where you can find all of your information. And there's never been a better time to be trading than now, with lockdowns, with all that stuff going on. If you're affected, well, time to learn a new skill. Have a great day. Like, share, subscribe, and thank you. Bye for now.